Hello, my crafty friends. It's the second of the month, and that means it's time for a new sheetload of cards. The sheetload of cards is the brainchild of Alicia at Call Me Crafty Al. It is a sketch and cutting guide, and it's free to subscribers of her YouTube channel. I'm going to have all of that information in the description box below my video. On the first of each month, Alicia will show you the new sheet load and her completed cards. On the second of the month, she has a process video, and her collaboration team shares how they interpreted this month's sheet load. There is a YouTube collaboration team of which I'm a part of, and there is also both an Instagram and a blog collaboration team. So lots of inspiration, and I will have all of the information linked in that description box below for you. This is a special one this month. It was inspired by our collaboration member, Creative Chelsea. I would highly recommend following Creative Chelsea on YouTube. She has such great ideas and beautiful cards. She is also a US Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, if any of you live in the US and are looking for a demonstrator. And it was one of her cards that inspired Alicia to create this month's sheet load. So for October, you get a yield of 10 cards, and it uses two 12 by 12 pattern papers, some vellum, etc. And let me show you my cards. I did make all 10 cards, and they are all birthday cards. If you follow me, you know I donate 25 birthday cards each month to my mom's old nursing home. I love using the sheet load to make multiple cards, so that's where these 10 birthday cards will be going. Now I did change up the sketch just a little bit. And not because I didn't like this. I thought this was beautiful with the flower on it. I had a perfect flower image to use. I loved the vellum circle and the cardstock strip folded to resemble a ribbon. But because I was making birthday cards for the nursing home, I didn't want to do 10 floral cards. And Your Next Stamp has a new release. So instead, I decided to change it up a bit and make more generic birthday cards. Even though there is a lot of brown on these cards, I think they would be good for anyone. I started off with pattern paper. This is an older pattern paper pad from my stash. It's called Lime Twist by My Mind's Eye. Lots of really nice geometric patterns in there. So I pulled that out for my cards today, and the brown cardstock seemed to be a good neutral. So I did add the folded cardstock on all of the cards, and I decided to go ahead and use up a bunch of scraps. Because it's an older pattern paper pad, there's also a bunch of smaller pieces in there. So I did use some pattern paper, some cardstock, just scraps, things I had laying around. Other than for my matting layers, I didn't have to cut into a whole sheet for anything. Everything else was scraps or bits and bobs from the paper pad. So this fun confetti circle here, that is one of the new release items from Your Next Stamp. It is called the Confetti Circle Die, and it die cuts the stitched edge and the confetti. So you can also save all those confetti bits to use for shaker cards, but what I did is I nested this and a Hero Arts circle die and ran them both through at the same time. That circle die just fit perfectly around the outside edge. I didn't need to use any washi tape or anything to hold them, and I was able to get my 10 circles done that way. And I did not save those confetti bits. I just scraped them into the trash. After I was done cutting all my confetti circles, I used that same Hero Arts circle die and cut white backers, well, mostly white backers. I kind of went through each circle and decided which color would work best. So same circle die was used as a backer. Now the Celebrate here, that is a die from Karen Burniston, and I did use vellum. I didn't use it on a circle as it is here, but I did use it on the back of this, of all of the ones that have Celebrate. A lot of the circles also got a blast with shimmer spray, but this one, as you can see, was actually cut from a pearlized cardstock. There was a piece sitting beside my paper trimmer that was just big enough for the circles, so I ran that through and was able to use that up. For the birthday wishes, that's also Your Next Stamp. That is their washi tape sentiments. There's the birthday wishes. This is a stamp and die set that I use all the time. There's also coordinating dies that you can purchase. So I used the larger one as well. So some of them have Celebrate, some of them have birthday wishes, and there's some different colorways depending on what scraps I had left. I just made it all work. Inside the cards, I used one of the leftover torn bits, and Alicia has in her process video, we'll go over how to do all the tearing. If I was doing mine again, I would tear my pieces a little bit closer to the edge. I didn't kind of follow the thought process through as to how they were going to lay out, and I wasn't nuts about this large border on some of them. I do like it when the pieces are closer together. So that would be my recommendation, is when you're going to tear your pieces, that you keep it closer to that, to either the right and the left edges, so that there's less of a border in between. But I know the residents aren't going to mind at all. So I did take some of the leftover papers and glue them inside the card, just for a little something something. And then my stamp inside is a retired set from MFT Stamps, LJD Greetings, and there's the Happy Birthday to You. It's another stamp set that I use so much and have over the years. So some different colorways, and I love the completed cards. I think they're nice and cheery, and I know the residents will really enjoy them. I used foam tape. I've been using a lot of thin foam tape in my crafting lately because I love using foam tape, and the thin foam tape kind of gives me that lift without the additional bulk for mailing. But on the residents cards, I know that they're going to be hand delivered, so I just go ahead and use my regular foam tape. I actually use Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. That's one of those things that I've been using for years, and if I'm placing a Stampin' Up! Order, there's a pretty good chance I'm also ordering dimensionals, because I go through a lot of those as well. If you enjoyed my video today, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more. And that's it for me today.